I'm out checking my beaver traps again. Here standing on this big old lodge again. Me and my daughter were here yesterday. My oldest daughter, she's 2. And when we were standing here on the lodge, we looked down in here in this browse pile that the beaver was piling up, and the beaver swam out of the entrance of the lodge and started swimming over across the pond. My daughter was screaming, "Get in the trap, get in the trap, get in the trap." So she was very excited yesterday. But I just look over here where I got my 280 set. And I had a caster mound made. And look what I nailed in my trap. Here's Mr. Beaver. So, it's not the one, this is one of the young ones. This is not the one that I was seeing all around, swimming and everything. So, it's only one of the young ones. There's, I'm told there's 5 here. So, I just got one. I'm going to set it back up again. I think the big one that we saw yesterday that swam out of the trap and swam across the pond, I don't think he'll commit to the 280. I think it's too small. He won't go through it. We watched him actually go around it. So my plan is to set a drowning set right here. And I got a, I'm going to throw the weight off as far off as I can, probably 8 or 10 feet off the end of the house. It's pretty deep there. It's a couple feet deep there. So I should have no trouble to set up a drowning set there and nail that big one. So there's the small one. I'll take them up in the trap just so you can have a look. Yeah, this is one of the kits. Yeah. One of the kits. Still okay though. Catch is a catch, and this is my 5th beaver this year. So I'm happy about that. I'll come back on if I get anything else. It's the first trap I checked today, so I got 2 more. I got another 280 and another 330 out. My only 330 this year. So, just here taking that beaver in the trap. And look who just came out of the lodge. That's the big one I'm talking about. He just swam right out of the lodge while I was here setting up. If I had another trap, I'd have it on that lodge and I would have had him. But all I've got is a 280 and he won't commit. He's really big. So I'm going to reset this one, and I'm going to set a foothold on the lodge because I noticed they're doing a lot of repair to it with mud. So that's the big one I'm talking about that I thought we were going to get yesterday. Anyhow, we ended up getting a smaller one. Still a good catch, but I'm hoping this one's going to be in there tomorrow. So while I'm here videotaping, the beaver is just gone up around this point right here. He just swam up along there. I could hear him up there splashing around the water. So today I came prepared. So I've got a foothold right here. I got a soft catch. It works for beaver. Yeah, it's a trap that I've used for coyote in the past, but I'm going to use it for beaver because I'm short on traps this year. So actually I've been short on traps. I'm not a big I don't have a whole lot of traps. I've only got a couple dozen traps in total. You know, I do a lot of snaring. I have in the past. So I set this. I use whatever I have. So I set this here today, and it's just below the surface of the water. And then I've got my rebar cable gone up. It's anchored into the lodge here with a 3-foot rebar stake, and it goes right up. And I've tied it onto this tree up right here, just in case the beaver starts splashing around and pulls it out, just for extra protection. The wire there's a lock on it, drowning lock, and it's gone. It goes right out, I would say about 12 feet out there. I'd say it's in about 6 feet of water. I put it on a patio block, patio stone. I had a patio stone there that had a notch taken out of it, and I managed to wrap the rebar wire around the patio block really tight, and I threw it out there, way out there. And So it's way deep. Like I said, like 6 feet of water probably. So that beaver, when he gets on there, he's good as gone. And then over here, I reset back the way that I had originally set. I can see they're doing a lot of work on this over the last couple nights. They've put a lot of mud here and packed it down, getting ready for the winter. More mud here, more stuff turned up. There's a mound right there. There's the beaver I just caught. That's the young one. Like I said, there's 5 here in total, and I'm told to take all 5 of them if I can, because this is a nuisance removal. However, I'd be content taking 3 or 4. I'd like to have more beavers here in the future. This is reset the way that I had it originally. Here's my 280. I got it all just blocked in with fresh birch and cherry and apps. And I got them rind out so much so the beaver can smell it. Right there is my mound with castor in it. The beaver comes in through, gets nailed, end of story. Like I said, that's worked for me. I've got 5 this year, and that's how I've got every single one of them. I haven't set on a lodge yet this year. This is the foothold is the first time I've set on a lodge. I've set in culverts, I've set off to the side of lodges, but never on a lodge. And the reason why is because I can't get down there. I don't have long rubbers, and this is very deep. Most of the places where I'm trapping this year are big deep mud holes. So I'm improvising. When I get enough fur, maybe I'll buy a new set of rubbers. So maybe I'll buy a few more 330s. Who knows? It's an addiction. What a beautiful day. So I'm going to go check the rest of my beaver traps now. And I'm also going to check the my bear snare. Back on the trap line again today. I just had a really interesting experience. A car in front of me hit a coyote and spun the coyote around. Hit a young one who was only about a year old and spun it around, and it took a big chunk of fur out of the coyote's butt. And of course he was bleeding pretty bad. So I stopped my truck and jumped out with my 12 gauge. I had a number 2 shot. I figured I'd shoot it and put it out of its misery and maybe be able to use the fur even though I knew it was damaged. And the coyote regained his footing and started to run and jump down over the bank. So I gave chase, and as I got in the woods about, I'd say about 50 meters in the woods, I looked and here was the coyote up against a tree licking his wound. So I put up the gun, and just as I was getting ready to fire, he turned and saw me and ran, and I couldn't get a good shot off, so I let him go. However, I'm going to go back and set a trap. So I'm in here where I was yesterday. I don't know if you can see very well, the sun is pretty bright today. Yesterday I went and made a caster set right here, refreshened it, and I got a big old beaver today for my 280. So this is a nice size one. I've done really well here. This is my 6th of the year, and that's a big beaver for a 280. He's a fair size. Catch right across the top of right across behind the skull, and he wasn't in there long. Not very stiff or anything. So I just checked my 2 here, and now I'm going to go check the rest of them. But this is proven to be a really good set. This is the house right there, and there's my caster mound right there. And I got the beaver coming down over the bank. Came down over, and I nailed him in the trap. So anyhow, I'm going to take him out now, and I got 2 more traps to check. So I'll get back on if I get anything else. I'm nighttime checking my trap tonight. Just noticed that the snare is gone, or the foothold is gone. It's gone down in the water. So I'm assuming something's on the other end of it. And I only see, when I came here this evening, it was just going on dark, and I only saw one beaver. Oh yeah, it's good and heavy. So I'll pull it in and show you. It's hard to do it with a phone in my hand. So I couldn't get a video. It was too dark. I tried. Even when I got back to my truck, it was still too dark. So The beaver that I got tonight, the two right here, this one here, that's fair, okay beaver, fairly young. This one here is a bit bigger, and then the outside one there, that's one of the big ones. I got the two on the left, I got them yesterday, and then the big one on the right I got in my foothold drowner set. That's the one that wouldn't commit to the 280 that was going around for every day. I'd go there and she'd be swimming all around the lodge and everything. After catching two of the younger ones, well, I got like a smaller, a medium, and a large really. But after catching two of the younger ones, and then she wouldn't commit to that 280. She'd just be swimming around. So I stuck the foothold with a drowner set, a patio block on the end of it, threw it out about 8 or 10 feet out in the water, in probably about 6 feet deep water. Put a drowner lock on it and set up my soft catch on the edge of the lodge. Took a piece of green apps that was like an app shoot, just a small piece, cut it off and stuck it up on the beaver lodge in front of the trap, and I got a rear foot catch on her. So I only set that out a couple days ago, and 2 days ago, and today I got my catch. So that beaver that I had trouble with, that I couldn't get in the canobear, I managed to get with the foothold. In that lodge then there's only 2 beaver left, and they're both small beaver. They're both kits like this one here on the end. So I may decide that that's enough now out of that one. I might catch one more. I'm gonna go up tomorrow, and if I got one in my traps, well, I got one in my traps. But I'm gonna take him up tomorrow and move him to another house. I got about, in my area, I know of 8 houses, and I'm only working 2 so far, and I got 8 beavers out of 2 houses. So still quite a few up there. Still quite a few to get. So I know of 20 or 30 beaver now. So, and that's not including these. So here is the I caught her by this paw right here, and caught her good and solid on the foot across here, and she dove in, of course, and went straight to the bottom, and here's my beaver. So I got 5 beavers to skin out now. I've had a hard time keeping up with it. I work full time, and I got 3 skinned out and fleshed and boarded, and I got 5 left to do. These 2 and 2 that are in my deep freeze over there. So I got a day's worth of skinning to do. So anyhow, I'll come back on. I haven't set out any snares yet. I got them all dipped and hung up, and I did that a couple days ago. And I'm hoping that the weekend I'll go throw out a mink, 4 or 5 mink boxes, and maybe a half dozen or a dozen snares. Not gonna go too big into it this year. Still got 2 small kids, and you know what? We're really enjoying the beavers. My little girl came out with me when I caught a beaver, the kit that I caught there, and she also came out with me tonight when I caught the bigger one. So that's what it's all about now for me. Anyhow, I'm sure I'll be back on in a day or a couple days with another catch.